Hi there, everybody. Welcome into the channel. My name is Travis, and I am sad. I'm surviving an avoidant discard. It's taken an awful lot to hit record on this. Today, the actual day of the week and the date is 6 months since the breakup. And like a lot of you going through a breakup like this, it was sudden, unclear. If I remember right, it was, sorry, this is toxic. And that was it. She thought that after 2 years, I would just read that and just shrug my shoulders and walk away. I'm not sure if this channel is going to be a vlog or what it's going to turn into. But I feel like every other video that I've watched on this subject, honestly, sometimes has made me mad. I don't subscribe to the ex-back coaches and all that. I think it's bull. They're just preying on you, taking your money. At the end of the day, you can't make anyone do anything or feel anything that they don't want to do or feel for themselves. And most of the videos that I've watched, I think, have been people 2 or 3 years on, quote unquote, healed, and now coming back and reliving what they've gone through. I follow several what I feel like are really good YouTube channels with helpful content that's realistic. So I'll probably reference those as videos come out. I don't agree with bashing avoidance. I think, and I don't agree with labels either. When we talk about attachment theory and we talk about, I'm a healing, fearful avoidant who leaned heavily anxious in my last relationship. And it's not a blood type. It's not a. You're not stuck with that label. If you've clicked on this channel, you clicked on this video, you're likely already aware of this. You've done a little bit of reading and a little bit of research into what attachment styles are and what attachment theory is and isn't. We can change our attachment style. We can heal. We can become secure. We just have to choose to face it, to be brave about it. If I'm perfectly honest, this is not my first avoidant discard. I didn't realize it until I went through this, that my mother was my first avoidant discard. And that's scary, and it's kind of hard to face and know that when you open that box to start healing, you start to see more and more that it really didn't have a lot to do with your ex, your most recent relationship. It's coming from way in the past. I don't remember where I heard the expression, if it's hysterical, then it's historical. And what I got from that was, if my reaction seems out of step or way too much for what I've been through, then chances are it's not that current event that I'm really reacting to. So in this breakup with my ex, I don't know if I'm gonna name my ex. I mean, if I don't doubt if she'd ever watch this. I hope she would. I hope she heals, and I hope she does this. I'm sure we all do. Um, I hesitate. Um, there's a red flag that I skipped past early in our relationship, and I'm sorry, this first video is probably going to be a little bit rambling and not much of a point to it, and I hope there's a little bit of structure to the videos and the channel. But I'm not for avoidant bashing. Avoidance, again, no labels. Avoidants are as unhealed as I am. I am 50% of the problem in my relationship, and I am 50% of the problem in every single relationship that I've ever been in. I am the common denominator in every single relationship I've been in. Your ex, my ex, is the common denominator in every single relationship they've been in. We really truly contribute 50-50 to the solution and the problem in every relationship that we're in. Sure, there are different circumstances where something astronomical happens, but for the most part, in these anxious leaning, fearful avoidance / avoidant relationships, it's generally two equally unhealed people and their unhealed attachment wounds that are colliding with each other and getting in the way of the rest of the relationship. Yeah. And like I said, I'm 6 months out, and this weekend was a really, really tough weekend. It's a Sunday today. One of the other channels I follow, I think her name's Pauline, she said, or she coined the term fearful avoidant crash state. I had a crash state on Friday. I was meant to go down to Calgary and help a friend at a show and do some other work and whatnot. And I was really hesitant about the trip. I kept having these thoughts of my ex. You know, the fact that there was the last time I was at one of these trade shows, I was on the rocks with her. Or it could have been it was the last time that I packed a bag was to go on a trip with her. The last time down that highway was with her. I don't know what it was, but I was just really apprehensive to take this trip. And when I got down there and I started doing some other work, I was doing some work for some other clients prior to actually getting into Calgary, and I absolutely came undone. And mentally and emotionally, I was right back at day one. And one of the other things that I've noticed very recently is on the way back, I talked to my best friend of 30 years. I'm 53 now, and we've been friends for 30 years. And I never realized it until I went through this experience with my ex, that my mother is avoidant, my best friend is an avoidant, most people in my life are avoidants. And so my nervous system, my unhealed, anxious leaning, fearful avoidant nervous system has been attracting these people into my life. Or, you know, in my mother's case, I've been formed by that my entire life, and it's affected every single relationship that I've ever been in. And I think I've finally gotten to the point where I've had enough. I remember talking with my friend on the way back. I immediately drove back the same day, and felt really bad. I couldn't live up to my obligations of what I had said I was going to do this weekend, but I knew I had to look after myself. I was saying to him, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep I can't keep trying to willpower my way past these feelings. No amount of talk therapy, group therapy, antidepressants can make me stop loving my ex or missing her every single day or worrying about her or wanting her to heal or hoping that she comes back. But the ruminations of that, the stories of that, they just take over, and it's really intrusive. It's obviously now getting to the point where it's interfering too much. So I decided tomorrow. Actually yesterday I had the first consultation of it, and I'm curious if anybody says anything in the comments if they've tried this. But I'm looking into hypnotherapy now. I follow not on this channel but another channel. I've got to follow some of these people onto this new channel, but I've been following Sarah Christine, who's a hypnotherapist. I believe she's in Florida, California or Florida. I haven't quite figured out where but she's got some really great content if you're going through this type of thing. But she's a hypnotherapist, and that was what gave me the idea of maybe looking into this. Something that gets at the root of it. I mean, if you imagine that you've got a lawn, a lawn is about the only thing I can grow really well. But if you try to pull weeds like dandelions out of that lawn, and you leave the smallest little root behind, that dandelion will grow back again stronger than it was before. And that's kind of how I view the subconscious mind. I can go to all the talk therapy that I want. I can, say, she did this. I have this ick list of the things that I wasn't happy with in that relationship. She wasn't meeting my needs here. I was unhappy here. I accept the fact that this relationship had to end the way that it was because it was unhealthy for both of us, and neither one of us were going to be happy in that dynamic. Right? Those are conscious thoughts. But subconsciously, that fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal, the I'm not enough wound is just screaming in the background, no, you can't let that go, you can't. And that's where I think all this rumination keeps coming up. So tomorrow is my very first hypnotherapy session, and I'm a little nervous and excited and hopeful, and I don't think there's any therapy, any drug that can make me forget her, and nor would I take it if there was. I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. I mean, this person is not a horrible person. She's a beautiful person, just a wonderful soul. I don't like the term love bombing, and I know that I've used that in my past, and I kind of regret that now. Love bomb, if we think of the word bomb, they're dropping bombs in Gaza. It's destructive, right? A bomb is destructive, and the people that drop a bomb know what it's going to do, and that's more of a narcissist type scenario. And it's easy to see why a lot of dismissive avoidants get mislabeled as narcissists. But she did show up really, really well in the beginning of our relationship. That was 2 years ago. When would that be? September of 2022. yeah, it's about 2.5 years ago. Lots of validation, lots of effort, lots of time, lots of energy, lots of activities, a lot of effort. Um, I used to say her love language was food. It's the only time I ever saw her cry was when I cooked a meal for her, and I guess no one had ever done that before. And she always showed up here with food for me, and that's why I always said that was her love language. Um, and of course, I fell in love. Yeah, that was inevitable. I remember. I don't remember the circumstances of what had led up to the moment that I told her that I love you so much. But I know in that moment I was so happy that I got to tell somebody like her that I told her that. And then in the next instant, my heart just sank because I got in response. And I was just, that just sticks with me. And during the relationship, I never heard her tell me that she loved me. She would get to the point where she would say things like, "Me too, okay?" She'd come close and look in my eyes and just say, "Me too, okay?" And then after the discard, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I heard "I love you," I think 3 or 4 times. I still love you. I still care about you. It's not about not loving you. Just all of the typical avoidant type stuff that, if you've watched enough videos and read enough books, you start to see this pattern, and it's classic avoidant stuff. Not excusing it, it still hurts, but anyway, I'm kind of hoping with this channel and recording videos that, maybe I can head somebody off of maybe making the mistakes that I made. She doesn't get off scot-free, they made your ex, my ex, they made a lot of mistakes too. They're responsible, they're accountable. I didn't make my ex make a match profile. She didn't make me make one. We're 2 adults coming together to co-create a relationship, and the responsibility and the accountability is equal on both sides. I'm sure a lot of you have not heard accountability or responsibility. To this day, I've never heard a true, genuine apology for anything from my ex. And I'll give you some examples in later videos, I think. But I hope you'll stick around. I hope you're healing. Talk therapy does have a place. I know I was intensively in talk therapy. I've been in group therapy for a little over a year now. That was at her insistence. A lot of, "You're angry all the time. You need to go work on this. You need to go," right? We can call that blame shifting or fault finding, whatever you want to, but I used to say, we were always, one of Bill Burr's favorite lines of mine says, we always seem to be working on me. She was this piece of museum art to be kept under glass and admired. It's not true, but that's how it felt a lot. You need to go work on yourself, and I absorbed that. I took all that in, right? I took that on as my fellow fearful avoidants out there who are anxious leaning, or anybody that's anxious leaning with an avoidant. You tend to take on the responsibility. You take on the emotional burden and the emotional heavy lifting of the relationship. and you mistakenly think that, yeah, if I go work on myself, if only I'm less angry, then that will pull her back closer, and we'll be as happy as we were in the beginning. And the truth is, it doesn't matter what you do. The goalposts just keep moving. Because if you think about it, the more I'm in therapy, the more you're in therapy, the more that you heal. Sorry, the more that you heal, the worse the avoidant looks for not healing, for not stepping up. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Corey T. I love Corey T. She said something to the effect of, and she may have got this somewhere else, but the people who are meant to be in your, when you start improving and working on yourself, the people that are meant to be in your life are either going to level up and meet you there, or they're going to fall away. And either way, you end up with a good life, a better life, because you turn into a better person. So that's what I hope for all of you and me. I will update, do another video after some of this hypnotherapy is done, and hopefully there's a little bit of a change. And yeah, I want to walk you through what I went through in this relationship and in this breakup, and what I learned from my mistakes, the mistakes that I made, what I would do differently, what I've learned, everything. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.